couple weeks ago to come and speak to everyone. And, you know, honestly, I was praying over this and thinking, well, I don't want to just share about, you know, what's Genesis. I want to share something of value to you that you might be able to take home with you and use at work or at home or whatever it might be that could be just, again, something you can use as a value. And I got to thinking about mindset. And this is applicable for any age, any season of life. And I was speaking with my mentor on Tuesday, and he said, Jen, if you're speaking to the Rotary, you're speaking to the Rotary, but you may have 3 different audiences that you're speaking to. Some people who are brand new into their businesses, they are just getting started and looking for success and how to grow their businesses. Other people are in the audience who are already really reaching high levels of success in their businesses and doing very well. And others who don't even care about business, they're here just to be able to, they've already reached their pinnacle of success, and they're here to be able to contribute and just have significance. And so if any of those 3 groups are you, then I hope this will be of value to you. One thing that I will tell you is because I graduated from St. Ambrose University in 1993 with my occupational therapy degree, go occupational therapy or go St. Ambrose?
Yeah, St. Ambrose.
And I learned one of the things about our world today, which is after 30 years, worse than it was back then, and that is that we are the most shallow breathing, high anxiety, almost just zero oxygen getting to our systems, especially after we eat lunch. So I'm going to have you all stand up for a second. We're going to learn about the 5 lung languages. Now relax, gentlemen. We're not talking about relational things and feedback and advice for you. We're talking about the 5 lung languages. This is going to help you to increase your oxygen to your body and your mind. This is going to help you decrease cortisol levels. How many of you woke up with your cell phone blowing up and email boxes overflowing, right? This is going to help with that. Also, it's going to help with your serotonin levels and all these things that you may not even care about. But we're going to do it anyway because I care about you, and I hope this is a simple thing that doesn't cost you a thing that can help improve your health and your family's health, maybe your team's health, if you will just share this with them. So we're going to do a deep breath in through our nose for 4 seconds. We're going to hold it for 4 seconds, and then we're going to exhale slowly while we press lightly on the left side of our lower rib cage. You got that? So deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. And then exhale and slightly press on your left lower rib cage. And I'm not going to make you do it again, but remember this for you and your health as you leave here. Please help our country be healthier so that we can lead well. Go ahead and have a seat.
I know, right? That just woke me up.
Well, don't you feel like you're more alert? Come on, help me out. Have you ever prayed a prayer that when you prayed it and it was finally answered, way too long later, that you almost forgot that you even prayed it? Anybody ever pray a prayer that when it was finally answered, you almost forgot you prayed it? That was exactly what happened to me, and how I'll share a little bit about Genesis and how we came to be. In 2008, I was going through an airport. I was working in corporate healthcare, and I had never heard the words personal development or professional development. I knew continuing education, but I didn't know exactly what that meant and what impact that could have in a person's life. I picked up a book in the bookstore, thinking I'll just waste some time, and I found what was called 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Anybody ever heard that book? I started reading that while I was sitting there waiting for my plane, and I heard and read John Maxwell's story and teaching about leadership and how to lead well. Before I left that airport, I wrote in that book, I said, Lord, I want to meet John Maxwell in person, number 1. Number 2, I would love for him to pray over me and help me to know what I want to be when I grow up. Okay? Fast forward, 10 years goes by. In 2018, I was hosting an event here at the Rhythm City Casino. Sold out event, 850 people, just people flown in from all over the country to share and teach our teams. and I received a phone call and it just said unknown number. Now, how many of you guys host events? Do you know what that's like? You're overwhelmed, you have no interest in trying to answer unknown numbers, right? So over lunch, I picked up the phone, I listened to it quickly just in case it was something that was really important. And it was a gentleman named Jamie Minton. And he said, Jen, this is Jamie Minton with John Maxwell team. We would really like to have you come into West Palm Beach and talk with John about his passion project for network marketing. Please give me a call when you can. I'm embarrassed to say, I deleted it. I thought it was spam. The next day, as I was wrapping up the event and sending people back home, I got a text message from a very persistent Jamie Minton. And he said, a little bit of urgency here, Jen. Could you please give me a call? We'd really like you to work on this project. I did not delete that one. I asked my friend who was from Los Angeles, I said, is this for real or is this just a spam call? And he said, no, Jen, that's for real. So I will tell you, 2 months later, this is the fall of 2018, I found myself in West Palm Beach in John Maxwell's home talking to him about network marketing and a project that he was working on. That evening, as we were wrapping things up, John sits down at my table. It was just like this. We had 5 of us sitting at the table. And it struck me. This is what I prayed for. I asked him, I said, John, could you please share your story with us and tell us how you went from pastor to leadership guru of the world? And he said, absolutely. And he went on to share. Then I said, all right, Mark, you're not taking John away until he can pray over us and help us to know what we want to be when we grow up. Well, back then I was, 48 years old? And he said, absolutely, and he did that. That weekend completely changed my mind. I was not a John Maxwell team member, I was not any of those things. But it made me realize that when we set our sights on something that we would love to have happen, those things manifest if we will continue to move forward and do the things that we need to do our part. Well, needless to say, before I left, and everyone left, that we actually were asked, you should really be a John Maxwell team member. So that is how this happened, and Genesis was founded here in the Quad Cities, is because he told us to. And so I really wanted to just talk a little bit today about what John has taught me over these last few years, and I've learned through 30 years, 20 years in corporate healthcare, in the last 10 years in network marketing. I will tell you, network marketing, I'm not going to draw any circles or lines, but one of the things I've learned is leading a volunteer army is not a simple task. But it can be done if you will become the person that you wish for them to be able to aspire to as well. And those of you who are leaders in this room, which is pretty much everyone here, I know you understand what I'm saying. Leadership begins with us individually. Telling people what to do without actually doing it yourself, does that work? Anyone? No, not usually. Successful people think differently. Anyone agree? Successful people think differently. How is that? Successful people think differently in how they handle stress. Now you know how to handle stress by breathing well. They think positive and solution-oriented thoughts versus always focusing on the problem. Yes or no? Yeah. They also know that what you focus on, you tend to find. How many of you guys, when your phone blew up this morning, your text messages were overflowing, your email boxes were overflowing, started having a little bit of anxious thoughts or just overwhelmed thoughts? Anybody ever felt that way? Anyone? It's just me? Okay. When we realize that what we focus on, we find, and what we focus on grows, and what we focus on becomes real, and what we focus on, we actually become. If you and I would recognize those things, it could completely change the face of not just ourselves individually, because we become a better person, a more effective leader, but it also changes the way that we lead in our families, which in turn leads how we changes how we lead in our companies, which in turn changes how we lead our communities. Isn't that what the Rotary does? The Rotary is having an impact on people, not just because we're successful in our businesses, but because we want to have a positive impact on our communities. Amen?
Amen.
And so leadership begins with you and I. Personal, body, mind, and wellness. This, again, as I already mentioned, and I won't go back there again, but how we lead each day, again, can completely be changed by us just being aware of where we go when stress happens, at home or at work. And I don't know about you guys, but these last few years has taught me a lot about myself. And that is, when I am not with other people, I am not nice. I need to be around people. So I'm not sure what you learned, but I'm sure you could share with all of us. The crazy thing is that over these last couple of years, we also recognize that, and actually the Cleveland Clinic and the National Science Foundation says that each individual person has between 48,000 and 70,000 thoughts and ideas per day. Per day. Gentlemen, us ladies are probably up here at the 70,000 mark. You might be at the 48,000 mark, but somewhere in between there, we have that many thoughts per day. Can you believe that 80+% of those thoughts are negative? That's frightening. And also, 95% of them are repetitive. That being said, you can think right now about somebody in your circle. Maybe it's at home. I'm thinking about my husband, actually. That's probably the negative Nelly. Anyway, that's a whole different training. Maybe it's somebody at your work. Some of your leaders that you have at your work. Some are better equipped to deal with stress and negativity than others. But there is a way to help people to focus on the right things. And what is that? It's kind of like, what was your name again, sir? You're serving in the military? Yes. Brad. Brad is attracted to the Rotary because of the positivity and like-mindedness of people who love the United States. They love their God and country. They love impacting and serving other people. What kind of people are leading at work or at your home? Who are attracting those people to themselves? If you're negative, do you avoid the negative people in your office? Do you avoid the negative people in your home even if you can find a way? People will avoid that type of personality because, number one, it drains your energy. I always like to say it sucks the life out of you. But I will run towards the people who have like-minded, personal growth, positive personalities because they feed your soul. They feed you energy as opposed to taking it away. Now, right now, I'm going to guess that the majority of you in this room have somebody that's popping into your head right now that you're saying, dang it, I wish they were here. Dang it, I wish they were here. And they could learn about how they can deal with stress and how they can be a more positive person, how they can have more of an impact in our home, our work, and our community. Get them with like-minded people. Get them to the Rotary. We talk about we want to grow, right? We want to grow. One of the things that I realized as I've been observing the last several times that I've been here is that each one of us, in whatever season of life that we're in, we have the ability to attract and to be able to help people to be around this environment, because where does the joy and satisfaction come from? Contribution. Contribution and service. And some of you gentlemen who have already reached the pinnacles of success, you're here, your contribution can be to help all of us not learn things the hard way. Anybody want that? Let's
Exactly,
do
yes.
things and not learn things the hard way, right? You have so much to contribute. And in service in the Rotary, again, if we can just focus on breaking the cycle of negative thinking and negative focus in our lives and in our communities, it will be a ripple effect. Now, we may not be able to change the world, but certainly we can change our world. Amen?
Yes.
How do we do this? Guys, I just really honestly came up with some simple things. Oops, sorry about that. some simple things that I thought of about how we can change the negativity, and here's something that's not going to cost you a dime. Start your day with gratitude. And I don't mean just like when you wake up and just like hit the snooze, you're like, it's already time to go to work. I'm so grateful that my alarm worked. No, not like that. Actually, what you write, you invite. I strongly recommend anyone who is struggling with trying to find the positive things in life and in work to pick up a notepad, put it next to your bedside table, whether it's the morning or the evening or maybe both, and writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. It could just be the fact that you woke up that day. It could be the fact that you have a job. Or maybe it is you have a wonderful spouse who, and being married for how many years, sir?
58.
58! Oh, Lord help me.
$58,
Those things, when we start our day that way and even end our day that way, will completely change our posture, it changes our mindset, it changes everything about our day. Don't pick up your cell phone first thing. If you do, you'll be drowning in emails and drowning in text messages, and it will absolutely ruin your day, right? Second thing, move your body. Move your body. You don't have to be like Rick or John and running 100-mile Leadville races. You don't have to go and do those kinds of things. It could be something as simple as get up and walk around the block. Walk your dog. They'll love you forever. But move your body. Move your body. If we cannot take care of ourselves and our own well-being, it's going to be very, very difficult to be pouring into other people from an empty cup. So move your body. Third, find an accountability partner or a coach. I know Marcia, I'm not sure if Marcia's here today, but you know, coaching, there's lots of different things that people do. Marcia, she is a coach, and I can't wait till I have coffee and learn about her more. But you know, whether it's about being able to coach about profitability and business and those kinds of things, for me, it's more of my passion, my wheelhouse is really just changing people's minds about what's holding them back from really achieving and becoming the person that they want to. They keep writing the same goals over and over, and yet still come back to the same spot. And so that's kind of my wheelhouse, is more of that kind of coach. Or just find somebody who will tell you the truth. Here's the thing about truth. Telling hard truths to hard hearts is impossible. But if you're open and you give somebody permission to tell you the truth, like some of the truths here are kind of funny, and I love that, but if you give somebody permission to tell you the truth, you are automatically freeing and opening yourself up for constructive feedback. I love constructive feedback, except when it comes to my husband, but besides that, anybody else can give me constructive feedback. But if you're open, that will completely change everything. If we're not able to accept that or willing to see things that are maybe blind spots for us, we'll struggle with making forward progress in business and in life. So those are just a few things that I would suggest. And leading into, you see on your table an event that we're bringing here. Because I love John Maxwell, we are bringing an event. I know that everyone cannot fly to Atlanta, Georgia for a live event, but we are seeking sponsors to help people change their minds about everything, personally, professionally, and in life. This event was here last year. We brought it to St. Ambrose University as kind of just a trial phase to see how it will be attended and how it will be received. It was amazing. We had so many different company leaders that were there, and Dr. John Byrne, anybody know Dr. John Byrne? He led a leader panel at this event, and he's going to do the same thing this year. We're bringing it back on November 4th and January 20th. And I just want you to get a little taste of what this event is about and why it's helping people to change their minds about leadership. Oh, I forgot, you can't do that. Just a 1 minute. Okay, Brian,
You got it.
did it work?
Looks like it worked.
I have a MacBook and I don't know how to push that.
Oh my gosh.
Jen, take a deep breath for 4 seconds.
Yes.
It's right here in the old rib cage, right there.
Before she gives Brian some constructive
That's
feedback.
right, that's right.
I really want you to see this. Oh, there we go. It's right there. There we go, right there on the.
Hold on.
You see, the only thing you got to worry about tomorrow is making sure that you make today count. This is your day to learn how to change your world. I mean, you why you were born.
Let's not lose what made us, but let's pick the future. Let's become the best version for next year.
Most success is when a person develops ordinary qualities to an extraordinary degree through the application of hard, systemic work.
Now, for some people, this is not easy, but there is no good reason for not doing it.
You and I were created to make a difference.
Yes. All right. I know I'm over time, so I just want to let you know, you can just check out the information there. We want to bring this event to the Quad Cities to really cause a ripple effect in not just our personal growth, but our professional growth. What will happen is that any of the sponsors that are actually from the Rotary, we're giving back 10% of anything that's collected here for sponsorships back to really a slush fund for any of the projects that we are standing behind for the Rotary. But even more importantly, really building new leaders in our community to also grow this Rotary to be able to have an impact and significance. So I just thank you so much for your time, and God bless you.